Gentlelady yields back, and I recognize Mr. Johnson for 5 minutes for questions.
I think Mr. Nels and Mr. Callio both said it right. We really do need action, not just political discussion. We have a lot to do. It is worth noting, I think, last year during FAA reauthorization, we did some good things. Clearly, DOGE has put a lot of American attention on making sure that taxpayer dollars are invested in the right things. We did some of that in FAA reauthorization. We said that we need to prioritize the replacement of federally owned towers that are more than 50 years old. I've been in one of those towers at Sioux Falls, South Dakota, a small hub airport, or rather a small airport where I fly out of every Monday morning, and that tower is aged. Clearly the men and women who work there are doing their best, but we're not really giving them the right tools. And so I am glad that we were able together to successfully prioritize the replacement of towers like in Sioux Falls. Of course, the bricks and mortar are not the only infrastructure we care about. We also need truly trained and dedicated individuals. And I am told, Mr. Daniels, that it takes years to get a fully trained and certified air traffic controller. I'm told the main constraint to getting them ready to go is the field training, and that's about 85% of their training time. What can Congress do to avoid those constraints and those choke points?
Thank you, Congressman. Appreciate the question. I'd say number one is the continuation of the recruitment and training of those individuals, not the stop-and-go ways that it's been done. And again, anything that impedes that, such as a government shutdown, absolutely sets us backwards. But as far as the training goes itself, we have engaged and been working with the agency. It's mainly going to be around simulators. That reduces 27% of the training time, saving taxpayer money, saving our ability to be in the ready to go at any moment when it comes time to talking to a live aircraft. So our investment in those training simulators will be a key changer.
Okay, so I want to make sure I'm tracking here. And I would tell you the two of the very best members of Congress are Frank Lucas and Stephanie Bice. And the Air Traffic Academy is in their area. And they've told me that even during the best of times, so not during a government shutdown, we're not doing right by the field training. Now, you're talking about simulators. Do those simulators count for the field training as well?
They do.
Oh, good.
Once you get out of the Oklahoma City Academy, you go through training evaluation milestones. Number one is you show up and start doing book work. Number two is you start doing simulator work. The enhancement of those simulators, and many of them are outdated or just a laptop alone, those are an impediment to our progress. And then the actual talking to live air traffic is next.
Okay, so so we should do more investment in these simulators because you're telling me that will reduce the choke point.
Congressman, it's been agreed upon by the agency and NACA that it reduces the time by 27%.
Okay, so then, Mr. Rinaldi, same general topic to you. Is it my understanding that some of these new graduates out of the academy, we immediately send them over to have them be teachers or trainers at the academy? Is my understanding right about that?
Say the question again, sir. I'm sorry.
Do we have somebody had told me that we've got newly graduated folks out of the academy who then are shifted over to start being trainers at the academy rather than being out in the field.
I don't know anything about that. I don't think that's happening.
Gotcha. So same question that I posed to Mr. Daniels. What can Congress do to move us in the right direction?
Well, I think that Congress really has to hold the FAA accountable to the FAA bill that you put together last year. I mean, if you just look at, you can go through the 180-day window that they're supposed to provide reports back to you. I mean, Digital Towers is one of them. They were supposed to provide a report back by November 12th. They have not. They were supposed to provide 3 locations of where you were going to test Digital Towers live traffic. They have not. They're missing all those deadlines. If you go back to your 2018 FAA reauthorization bill, they missed over 60% of those deadlines. You got to hold them accountable for these great bills you guys are doing up here.
Yeah, boy, that is really well said. Mr. Callio, what are we missing here?
Not much. I would associate myself with the remarks of both Mr. Rinaldi and Mr. Daniels. I think one thing that I mentioned earlier, Congressman, that you can do, we need to pump up Oklahoma City. We commend Secretary Duffy for doing that. It's not going to be enough. The numbers don't add up. There is a program called the College Training Initiative. We start calling on the Biden administration to reinstitute that. It was decimated in 2014 for not very good reasons. And it was a training pipeline that helped keep the number of controllers current and could help again. The Biden administration ended up only certifying 4 schools, 2 of them in Oklahoma. There are many more out there, like Vaughn College in New York, where people can be trained locally and then put into Tracons and towers in that area.
Well, and Mr. Kelly, I would just say, you're saying it exactly right, and as I yield back, I would note that Frank Lucas and Stephanie Bice have, they would echo your comments that we have not done right by the Oklahoma City Academy, and we need to do better. With that, I would yield back.